Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, players of all ages, what's crack-a-lacking? All right, so we're back. Of course, huge shout out to Vintage for putting out that amazing video over the current state of the game, where we're at. And I'm sure all of us here listening live and rewatching, first off, thank you for your time. Always have appreciate and love and enjoy your presence and your your participation and your support, so thank you for being here. But going back to the topic, we can all agree with everything he brings up. A couple key points: balance, that branching out to where we at with prestige, where we are at with the synergy. Obviously, we're gonna once everybody gets in here, we're gonna open up Discord in about maybe a minute or two and talk about the synergy. And really, I want everybody, again, new and old players, a lot of the comments that are going to be brought up, a lot of the conversation, the breakdowns, it's constructive feedback because of our investment in the game. Whether and we spend a lot of time playing this game. That's why a lot of you guys that come back to watch the videos, we focus on like the game itself. Obviously, yes, we're all grinding events and stuff like that and having fun, but we put a lot of time into this game, and it's got a strong, amazing community. And we have, through our participation, our years of experience, our time, we know what works and what isn't working. And it is important, as Vince is saying, to really plant that flag and be like, yo guys, come on, before it gets crazy, before we have to worry about another meta flip, before anything. Devs, I know you guys are listening. You guys are here. We appreciate that. I appreciate that sincerely. Everybody else, again, sincerely does. However, this game presents a lot of great stuff that other apps, other mobile games do not have. However, it is very confusing. It really is, on how you guys decide to do things, because the feedback we want to give you guys is just to keep this game alive and help you guys make more money because we love this game. You know what I mean? Anyway, Discord's open. If you have my link, you're more than welcome to join. I'm going to be a little bit picky today just because I feel that we're going to definitely embrace a lot of conversation. I won't be posting the link in the chat, so if you're new, enjoy the conversation. Not that I don't want new people to, speak upon and discuss, but it's got to tailor it down. I got to play DJ, got to, obviously get some gameplay going for you guys in the background as I avoid ignoring chat and we discuss, Vintage's video. And yes, I'll be in game in just a second. Just got to get, we just got to break into the, get through the intro and stuff. Dude, Vintage, look, let me tell you something, buddy. Your content's awesome, dude. So I understand I'm understanding actually more now. Now with my current way of playing the game, where you're coming from. So, dude, your content's great, man. So we'll get to that point. Let me just say what's up to the chat. We got Monty Snake, we got Nitrum, we got Darth, we got Extinction, Speaker Face, Leslie, Miss Val, hello, Speaker Face, Boxer, brother, como te va? Thank you for being here. And Discord's here. We got Vintage, we got Darth, Speaker Face, Miss Val. If you're willing to hang out with us in Discord, you're obviously more than welcome to. And I think that's about it, man. So let's get in game. Oh crap, hold on. Forgot to plug this one part in. Pew pew. And hold on. Wah. Where are you? Oh, there we go. Gotcha. Cool. So let me start off by saying, welcome everybody. We got Ed's channel. What's up, everybody? Welcome. It's gonna be a great Sunday. Hold on. Give me a sec, guys. Wah. Do that here. Do that there. Then we are going to go over here. Display capture. You're gonna see a bunch of colors. Just bear with me, guys. Technical difficulties, just bear with me, guys. Let me just get all this squared away real quick. Cool. Now we just gotta wait for this thing to load. But, alright. Yeah, part 3 shortly. Here we go. Alright, let's, I did some note taking. Well, we're getting this all squared away. I guess we could definitely talk about, a couple things a couple key points. Takeaways that I, enjoyed listening to. For now, we'll do podcast style. Just let me get this all figured out. Either way, all right. First thing, the comparison between Frig and Hell. My biggest takeaway was just how insane that that spike in power was. You know the thing is though, it's like it's very difficult to really encourage you know having a legit defense when we have those kind of insane numbers being thrown at us and expecting to participate in and stuff. So I enjoyed that a lot. I thought that was great. It was a good example. Which it's important to emphasize why balance is important in this game and stuff. So again, Hell, she's great. Could Frigg be as good? Absolutely. You know what I mean? Why not provide us synergy relics that are not just universal, but don't just have like a little bit of a bump, because again, our time is the most valuable thing in this game. We put in the time to grind events, we put in the time to level our relics, we put in the time to participate in whatever our team's doing. So I don't know. I mean, it's kind of wild to see those kind of things. Now, where does synergy come into this? Look, my biggest thing about synergy is I think it's just another creative way to keep the game interesting. Again, I'm all for it. But let's go to the 5 stars, for example, right? It's kind of difficult. We already know that the 5 stars are class dependent. But to have it so that one 5-star is only at its peak or at its best performance for one Titan, it's pretty rough. Again, for example, the Norse relics. You're only going to get those X multipliers when they're on the specific Titan. Does that encourage people to, get them? Probably not. And having them narrow down to one thing. Is it great for that Titan? Absolutely, for sure. It's a huge boost. But it's, I don't know. I just think it's a little too wild to have it like that. Let me see if on my end, it seems everything's good to go, guys. So if you guys have any issues with the stream on your end, please let me know. But again, actually, before I get further into it, I also want to just ask everybody here present in chat, like, what are your guys' thoughts of synergy? Do you think that inclusion is just too extra? Would it be better if they focused on something else other than, that? Let's see. We have 5 to 7 months left of DOT. Remember vintage. Oh, God. No, we don't. Relax.
And Chance putting words in my mouth.
There we go. Mr. Chance.
Shut up, fool.
AB says, show us your browser. Oh, shut up, dude. Fucking AB. Leslie says it's a Sunday, by the way. Yeah, it is Sunday. Does a defensive Titan from 2 metas ago compare to Hell? Low Churro. Well, look, here's the thing, bro. It's the focus on that kind of stuff for me. My takeaway is just like the drastic spike. It's just too gnarly, and again, when we the comparison is just like, well, for me, my takeaway again is like, why do we have to have it that much? And what does it do for those who are always probably tailing the meta? Does that discourage players? Do we lose players? I think so. Do we just keep people being very like above, like kind of just in that like, sea level where you're just kind of not really there, but you're there just because you enjoy the company of everybody you're playing with? You know what I mean?
Well, and there's the painting yourself in the corner that I used to refer to, because back in the day we still had some elemental resist, some melee and range resist and so forth to play with. And once you run out of that, what lever can you pull? Well, we've already kind of ruined armor.
Yeah.
Now the only thing that's left is more damage power, more armor piercing, and that's kind of it. So that's where they've got to just they got to slow it down because they're running out of runway.
Exactly. Piggybacking off that, it's slowing down in general, you know, adds to another big takeaway, which is adding longevity to the game. Why am I going to want to play a game that every time I get a new Titan, my battles are going to be 30 seconds? You know what I mean? That gets old pretty quick. And
yeah, and it also it keeps your roster so little. I mean, right now you only quote need like 3 Titans. You know, Everder's a great attacker, Hell is a great attacker, and then Minerva is literally the only defender worth talking about.
Yeah. And it's, you know, it's kind of crazy because it shouldn't be, obviously, again, it shouldn't have to be that way. If we're having this massive release of Titans now, I guess it's almost like every 3 weeks because they have the filler events to kind of just spread it out. I mean, it could almost I feel like it feeds into this thing where it's like, okay, I'll hop into the game, be pretty active for like maybe 2-3 months, and then I'll hop off for like a good 4 or 5 months, and then I'll come back because all I need to do is just get this new Titan and I'll be good to go. And again, it shouldn't have to be that way. If we want consistency and longevity and active participation, that aspect of, you know, having a sense of again, I'm just gonna say a sense of balance into the game with the mechanics, the way the relics are built, the way that the skills are built, the way things increase, the way things are being released. It just keeps us so that, you know, we can take the game and make our own game within it and still be active, but still not hinder the fact that people can still log in every day, still have their fun, and not have to be tailing the meta and feel like they're always behind, so what's the point kind of crap, you know? So, yeah, huge takeaway for me in that video for sure about that. Now, let's see.
We got to let Shigon go over some of his ideas. He had 2 or 3 great ones.
Ooh, yeah, we will. And
yeah, no worries.
And to segue into Darth, so we were you know, cracking jokes in the last stream, but I don't want to forget this comment, Darth. And after this one, we want to get your ideas definitely heard. His collection of prestige food is as follows, which is gnarly: Fire 21, Earth 16, Ice 22, Lightning 15, Poison 19, Void 15, and Physical 22. Damn, dude, that's wild. I mean, as of now, I think the only one that you wouldn't be able to take the P10 off the bat would be if it was an Earth. But that's only, I mean, yeah, that's still intense. Wow.
Yeah, because that's just my doubles. So I mean, if let's just say hypothetically it was an Earth DG Titan that came out, that, you know, because like I said, that's my thing. I'm gonna get the next 2 DG Titans. I don't care if they suck or not. I'm just gonna get them. I'm saving up for them. If it's Earth and it's worth it, well, heck, dude, I might just have to sacrifice some of my non-doubles and just re-earn them later.
There you go. Right on, dude. For sure. I don't know if you want to go into your ideas, Darth. I don't know if, or if you want to come back to it later, let me know. But definitely, yeah, whenever you're down to share your thoughts that you have have available, you know, floor is yours.
I mean, ideas. Well, first off, I mean, I don't know. Are you done gunning over Vintage's video? I mean, he covered a ton of stuff, man.
He did, yeah.
And
yeah. Go for it, man.
It's good stuff. And I mean, if you've been following Vintage's videos, it's not like he's changed any of his opinions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he just keeps reiterating them, which sometimes I feel like, you know, it's almost like you're screaming at windmills, right? Like, are they actually gonna freaking change any of this stuff? But I mean, if we don't keep bringing it up, you know, then it would never get changed. And I'm glad that Vintage at least stays true to what he's saying. He keeps bringing up the same points because they're so important that I think, you know, we need to always kind of focus on them. But I mean, there's so many things when it comes to balance. I mean, you know, just from playing other games, you can get a feel for like, oh, this game's got this balance, that game has this, you know, and it's like there's certain things you can take. And I understand, you know, this game has its code, so it's limited in certain ways. There's only certain things they can do. But there's things that they've done in the past that I know is already in the game that they could bring back out and just repurpose it, you know? I just don't know why they don't do it.
Yeah. There is, I feel like the pool of ideas or content that's in the game is really, really, it's pretty wide, you know. And
Great. The combinations are almost infinite.
yeah,
Think about this. You could just take random Titan X, okay? So take, who cares, Krothos. Okay, we're gonna have a new kind of, you know, Titan. It's like the never die Titan. So Krothos has Imperial skills. So you go out, you take your Imperial army, and as your Imperials die, you get Omega spells. Then you drop your Omegas, and again, he can shape the battlefield. Maybe he's got some ranged troop damage or whatever. Now, when the Omega Imperials die, they become corrupted Imperials. You could do all kinds of crap like that.
yeah, yeah. And we see that with the auras. You know what I mean? The auras can provide something else within it. So
You know, call them the Undying.
there you go, Mr. Prometheo. What's up, buddy? Welcome. Hope you can, if you got the time, would love to have you on Discord, bud. Again, yeah, the ideas are there. It's just it's kind of hard, dude, to get to find different ways to just honestly say, hey, dude, there's nothing wrong with pumping the brakes in the game. You know, there's nothing wrong with letting us enjoy what we've worked for. You know, and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with it, because ultimately at the end, again, it's player retention, and it allows us to then we can get creative within the game. Again, the whole aspect of war. I mean, there's no, other than bragging rights, there's really no, you know, and you get first place here and there maybe. There's really no other, you know, in-game reward system that enhances that. It's just literally people making this platform a social environment so that we can engage in a fun ass game, and it's there, you know, and
Yeah.
it's that's the
and
point.
that's why I always throw in the fact that if you plan and make your game for longevity, you know, it becomes an evergreen game where you don't have to worry about the money anymore. The players are there, and, you know, potentially even growing the player base. Because if you can maintain your player base and make cool stuff and still, you know, give players a good way to enter the game. Okay, I mean, we do have that now. Right now, if all you did was the Everdur and Minerva events, you're just fine. But if you let people have accounts where the stuff you got 6 months ago still mattered, well, that's how you preserve your player base. You know, and just like I proved in the Divine, you know, Shrine video, I always bring it back to, you can make more money, man. If you give people a reason to participate in your events and in your game, they will. People want to play the game. That's why we're here.
Exactly. And also another point of view too, for me, I'm not much of this, you know, veteran gamer that I have all this experience in playing different games. But one of the biggest attractions to this game specifically, yes, obviously the graphics for sure are like really, really, really good. And, you know, but the fact that there's a group of people I can kick it with and play, that's very, very unique. But however, it is also very easy to give up on something as entertaining and as unique as it could be, when again, if my stuff doesn't matter 3 months down the line, if it's a complete wipe, you know. So again, going to emphasize a lot of the conversation that we're going to have throughout the stream, you know, going back and forth between the video and our feedback from our experiences. It's always been based on constructive feedback on how we can keep this game going, how we can attract more players to make it and keep it competitive. If you're a casual player, you can still be casual as hell, have a good time, but it's not meant to be, you know, just a solo game where I'm just chilling. Like, it takes a collaboration of 50 players to make the team actually function, you know. So anyway, but with all that being said, devs, look, the point right now that we're trying to get across is, before you get too far ahead to whatever you guys have cooking, please hear us out, okay? our feedback is just to make sure that the next phase that you guys have coming is an enhancement, not a buzzkill. You know what I mean? And yeah, obviously a lot of us have said it plenty of times. It's hard to find a reason to keep playing if, again, I got to start from fresh every single time. And really the only thing that carries me over to whatever you guys are bringing is my experience, because I feel like that's kind of a true thing across the board from all of us. The fact that we have been playing this game for so many years is another reason, because we know how this game works. We know how to, make whatever is coming in useful because we know the game, opposed to someone that's new to the game is getting a good experience because they have something that's actually good and might not need to know how to use it at its peak, but can still get something out of it, So yeah, man, it's good stuff. We got a good community. We got a good game. At times I almost feel that you as developers probably didn't expect to have such a strong community, but when you look at the resources available, content creators, the websites to calculate events, look up, nerd out on relic builds, but huge shout out to Yuki for everything he's done for that website. It's I'm sure it's probably a shocker, but we just want this game to stay alive as long as possible. We want it to be balanced so that we feel that our time in it isn't a complete waste. PROMETHEO is also sharing with us. Oh yeah, go for it, bro.
No, I was just going to say, and if the penny counters are listening for some reason, I'll say this. You have a money-making machine. You just need to fuel the freaking thing. Put the gas in it and start collecting your freaking money. It's not that hard.
Yeah. It's all there, man. Just gotta dive. Gotta go for it. Now, PROMETHEO sharing.
Dude, the infrastructure is insane in this game. This game's unbelievable if you think about it. Yeah. I mean, there's no other game even close. Everything you need is there. You gotta just tweak the numbers, dude. That's all it takes.
Vintage. Yeah. If you're trying to increase more money, a solo event is like a good way to do it, right? And so if the top 50 just went from 30 to 40,000 a month, let's say one solo event a month, instead of 30,000, it's 40,000 souls. Well, that's a lot of money, right? I think they're pretty good about how to get us to spend money. I don't think that's a question. I think the reason they discontinue contact with us so much is because they don't really need as much contact, because, hey, we keep spending the money.
Well, okay, so the infrastructure is there, undoubtedly, okay? But there comes a point, okay, you got prestige, you got people sitting on divine gems, you got people sitting on prestige food, and everyone is too afraid to freaking use it. How many meta flips does it take for people to say, you know what, I'm never going to get to use this. Why am I doing this?
Well, and I don't know that you know that, though. People are afraid to spend divine gems. I mean, you just spent a couple on a bug relic, and then you spent one on an archmage staff for 8,000. I mean, I think people are still spending DGs, and I think my point is that they're grinding more forever, the DGs, because they understand the power of them. I don't think that the game is losing money in that regard. I think that people are spending more than ever.
But I think they're leaving a lot on the table. Because take average, grinder-ish guy that spends a little, okay? The guy that spends, if there's something amazing, oh my gosh, I gotta have that, is willing to spend 10 or 20 bucks. Anyone that's played this game for more than 4 months always has in the back of their mind, this thing might be trash in 2 weeks. Do I actually want to spend that $20? And all those thousands and thousands of players that operate that way, they're leaving all that money on the table. As where, if it was power creep management, okay, yeah, there's going to be a Titan that's a little more powerful than my dude here in a few weeks, but mine's still going to be useful. Maybe I won't be able to beat the P10 Apex Defender in a month, but you know what? I can still beat, I don't know, 90% of the stuff in the game. You know what I mean? That's how it should work.
Yeah, and you might be right, but like, what if the opposite is true though? What if because of the power creep, people spend more money? Maybe that's why the solo war events have gone up from 30 to 40,000 souls, to get in the top 50. Like, maybe they do it because people spend the money to be the tip of the spear, to be at the edge of the curve, right? I think that we're losing connection with them, and we see less of them is because they don't really need to be that involved anymore. Like, we're going to spend the money. We have the ZALONs, we have the vintages, we have the Prometheos to say, like, hey, this is really cool, or this isn't. And when you guys say it's really cool, like the staff thing. Ever since you guys said the staff guaranteed 8,000, great idea. Well, look what happened to solo events, and look what happened to prestige food. People are being more conservative. Like, I think that maybe the opposite is true. Maybe they're doing these crazy spikes because they know that will get us to spend more money. I mean, that's my theory.
Yeah, maybe, and if that's true, then I think the game has a much shorter runway.
Yeah, and I was actually gonna sprinkle that comment in there. I like what Chance is bringing because it is a very true statement, and we've seen it especially within the last year, where there's been even less interaction from them with us. However, we still are active, but how long does that go for? Because it's like, all right, I'm over it. I'm gonna go to another game. When you can hold on and retain players and still keep it, and then every so often maybe sprinkle in something a little extra for those that are gonna be just splash the cash out. But at the same time, you don't lose the people that are still a little hesitant, but are still willing to play, and they're just kind of like always in this ping pong on the fence kind of thing, So,
yeah, but the people that are going to splash the cash are going to splash the cash. They're going to. It doesn't matter if the Titan is 5% more powerful or 200% more powerful. They're going to get it because they're the latest, greatest.
Yeah, nobody on this Discord or in chat would disagree that there's 4 people who need an SPP account, right? But look at it from the dev's standpoint. Well, ZALON does it, and then Aventador and Vintage and Prometheo and GODAN show up anyway. So why do we need to give them test accounts when they can, put out content in 24 hours from ZALON doing his thing? So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they need to put that much effort out because we're pretty much taking care of the whole community. Like we've gone down to such bare bones, and we've gotten used to working with it so well for so long that it's like, well, maybe Vintage, Aventador, Prometheo, and GODAN don't need a test account because everybody can just come on to the lawn stream and figure it out. And then the next day on Friday, they're like, hey, we saw the live stream. Turns out Aventador had this issue. Vintage saw it, Prometheo calculated it, and GODAN spread it around the world, and so we need to address it. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think that there's going to be a saturation of involvement with them because we're so good at that, so prevalent at it ourselves. But I don't think that means that the game is dying. I think that it means that, the training wheels are off. Like we can run the game by ourselves. And
Prometheo is calling BS on you, and I have to agree.
Fine. Prometheo always does. That's fine. He's really a positive guy. I get it.
More SPP accounts it's more content, more engagement. Yes, I totally agree. Everyone is waiting around for ZALON, but guess what? What happens if ZALON gets the flu?
Sure.
Guess what? Nobody knows anything about the freaking event. We're all guessing. Then what? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. The setup they have right now is comically underwhelming.
Well, no, and you're not wrong. Like, first of all, maybe he doesn't get the Titan that week. Second of all, he doesn't have the right relics. I mean, so those are the first 2 problems of ZALON being available. And then if he wasn't available, then we're all shit out of luck. I 100% agree. And I would think it would benefit everybody in the whole universe of DOT if the four of you could have what he has. But I don't know. Like, ZALON got an email the other day, so like, oh, we should all be hopeful. Like, I've been on autopilot with the devs for like 2 years, so for me, it's like, well, nothing's really changed. They're still doing little, fixes on the blog and the Titans and the test accounts. So I don't.
No, I agree. I mean, they could be on autopilot just like a lot of people. I mean, and they're just squeezing the lemon, right? That's very possible.
Yeah,
but I'm always, until they turn off the servers, I'm always going to be here vouching about how they can do better.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is exactly why having these point of views shared here videos are important, because it's not a lost cause to keep constantly bringing this up, because we see a game still alive with this current flimsy setup. I mean, the fact that there's content creators making stuff out of their own time for a game and not have contact with the people that actually work behind the scenes to make this game stay up is kind of bizarre to me. Because if I were to hop onto another game, from what I'm understanding, based on different content creators of other games that I watch, dude, they would love to have other people be willing to put information and content out for them. However, obviously, again, we go back to the point. The reason this game is still alive is not because of the new Titan, it's because of the community. If half of us go, this game is not going to go around. And it doesn't, and again, I'm not trying to like threaten the devs or like, bring anything up like, oh, we're all going to protest. Fuck that shit. I'm still going to play the game. You know what I mean? I'm still going to have a good time, because the thing that's alive for me is the fact that I'm going to log in, I'm going to meet my VP men, and we're all going to have a good time, and that's why I play this game. And you know what? If the next Meta Titan sucks ass, I'll fucking skip it, whatever. Well, actually, I probably won't skip it. I'll take that back. But I'm not gonna lose my head if I miss out on it, because again.
Well, and it was refreshing to hear Vintage say, like, until the lights go out, because I needed to hear him fucking say that, because sometimes I feel like he's a little bit Chicken Little with the game, but like I fucking love to hear that, because it's like, no, like, I'm the biggest fan of this game. That's why I'm analytically critiquing it, and I want it to survive. That's even though Vintage sounds negative, like that's his intention.
Yeah.
Yeah, my intention is always long-term viability.
Yeah. And again, to keep one aspect of this game alive is to crack that code. So if you and that code is like, damn, okay, this is the new big defender. How do I get through? And if that defender, fucking sucks, and it's just like, damn, okay, well then again, then we make this game good by finding other ways to play it. But at the end of the day, all this kind of stuff, we're trying to add the constructive feedback to make it worth the time. So yeah, let me get to chat real quick. We have Free to Play ZEUS. What's up, buddy? Thank you for being here. Dang, let's see, let me go back up real quick. Leslie says, I found a scam through Facebook advertisement. Why don't they do that anymore? That's a damn good question. That's exactly why we're having this conversation right now. 4 months after global release, by the way. Wow, dude. That's crazy. Hitting all the nails square on the head. That's right. Looking forward to your follow-up videos. Oh, dude, it's going to be a good series. Let me see. I do want to bring this up, though, because PROMETHEO said that he would be more active on YouTube if he had a test account. Now, for any new player that's here, the reason his comment is unique to him is because of the commitment he had and the support he provided through his content for the game at a certain point. And the reality is, again, doing this out of his own time, and brought great, reliable resources and feedback to Titans that were getting released. Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, definitely PROMETHEO. But I would love to see, again, dude, Vintage, like we've said, Aventador, PROMETHEO, you guys need to get those fucking accounts, man. It's ridiculous. Yeah, man. I almost don't even, you know what, though, Free to Play, I jump to your comment. I almost don't feel like they're being lazy. I just feel like they're just playing smarter, not harder, you know? Props to you guys for doing that, but you're still missing out on a shit ton of money.
Hey, speaking of lazy, PROMETHEO, yeah, we know you're conquering the law firm. Feel free to hop on Discord, jackass. Anyway, sorry, Churro, go on. I'm sorry.
And then, let's see. Razorback fan. Devs and support sucks. Yeah, they have their moments, though. Razorback fan. I accidentally joined a different alliance this morning while looking for an alliance to grind some souls on. I lost 10.5k souls. They wouldn't hear of helping me out. Dude, that's rough. That's pretty rough. But I honestly, I think when it comes to that jumping, the only thing I will say, I guess in their defense, is the fact that if they didn't really, the thing is once you jump, you're not getting your souls. Unfortunately, people have
it warns you before you jump.
Yeah, and it's just because unfortunately, before that existed, people would be taking their souls, their 10k souls to another team. So that just pretty much would be breaking the game pretty hard, you know. So, but let's see. Leslie shares. I agree. Everybody suggested should get a SPP account. Yeah. Trump says. Still think the monthly pay pass for VIP type is a great idea. Not sure who had it, but waiting for them to come up with something. Look, it's not just because it's the new way of gaming, I guess you could say, having those VIP passes, but it just makes sense to have them, you know. You have a reason.
Just think if you had a war pass.
Mm-hmm.
For all the war guys, you had a thing called the war chest. You know, it costs you $5 a month, and we're gonna give you 1,000 portal stones a week. And you know, if you log in you get a war guy calendar where you have 4-star troop warps. You know, the spell warps. You know, you get a handful of divine gems. You get some red gems. What war guy would not sign up for that today? Give me a break.
And if you're not a war guy, the grinder guys, there you go. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $5 a month. You get 333 extra battles every week, or more, whatever. Right? 1,500 portal stones. Who cares? You know, give people a reason to play the freaking game.
Yeah. And again with this game, that is the number one. One thing is that you have to stay active in order to get the relics leveled, in order to keep your account alive. Because even if you get the latest and greatest Titan, if your relics aren't maxed, if they're not they're not there, you're only getting maybe a quarter of what you could if you have the right, at least standard collection. And yeah, dude, why not? Let's see. Razorback fan says he got no warning. Huh.
Because anytime you go to leave an alliance, it'll tell you your victory points will be set to 0 and you will lose any souls, etc. It even warns you, like during solo events, when you do not lose your souls.
Yeah.
If you didn't get a warning, that's weird.
I'm here to tell Chance that he's full of shit.
There we go. Now we have. Now we have a friend stream.
Yeah, on your war chest there, Vintage. What if they just created a consumable that accelerated all of your troop production? So that you basically refilled all of one type of troop.
There you go.
In your monthly calendar that you said you pay good money for, you get a pack that you open up that gives you 50 of one specific type of troop.
There you go. 50 Panthers, bam, right now.
Yeah, boom, right when you need them.
There you go.
Yeah, I love it.
That's a good one, Pro.
Even though because when I was warring with Everdur, it's I'd get the war for an hour and then I have to stop because I have no Panthers. But if I had a token, I could say, okay, give me 100 Panthers, bam. Now I get 8 more garrison raids.
Right, or a couple of months ago when Gaia, and you lost all the Goliaths, and Goliaths are really expensive and take forever. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, well, to respond on the point about the Ed raised about, I don't play the game anymore. I've told people many times that I quit playing defense, and the reality is that I don't play defense in this game anymore for a few good reasons. One is Zabava. Two is prestige, the P10 question. And, three is the overall meta turnover. It's just, there's too much that happens in this game for me to feel like it's worth it for me to invest all of my hard-won resources in a defense titan that you honestly don't actually play the defense. It's just like, okay, I'd much rather save all of my good prestige food for an attacker who's going to be fun to bust people's castles with.
Yeah.
So I have an idea on how one of the ways you could solve the prestige problem. And it goes along with re-architecting the leagues, which could potentially lead to throne wars, which is just another humongous topic. But if you could set up the leagues and say either masters and below or champions and below, you can't use prestige titans. Now, if you have a prestige titan, that's fine. It just, the skill won't function. So if you don't want to get into the prestige, insanity, you just stay in Elite League.
No, that makes sense. It's because it's almost like going to World of Warcraft, right? They have certain modes where if I think it's a Time Walker. So anyways, when you go back and you play older content, but it handicaps your character to that level of that content. So the content is still relevant. It's still tricky. And all that for you to do. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, you could do that.
Right.
Okay.
I'll do you one better.
Yeah, I mean, it would make the lower servers more viable and more enjoyable. You don't have some troll going on there just to ruin everybody's week.
I'll do you one better, Vintage. Legend League is P10 land. You want to get the effect of your P10 Titan, you got to be in Legend League. Masters,
yeah, there you
go. P7. Champion, P4, Elite, P1, and then everything else, it's just level 60 is the cap.
Yeah, there you go. I love it.
The mechanic is there.
Fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah, and the mechanic is there. Like, look at the Titan Hall. If your Titan Hall is not leveled to a certain level, your Titan can only go up so high.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just make it so that the game just treats every P8, 9, or 10 Titan that's in Master League as a P7.
Yeah, because then, I still think they need to be more generous with league rewards as far as getting prestige food and so forth, but that's yet another whole other video. But then you give players the option of what league do I want to play in, and everyone's kind of on a level playing field. Of course, you can always try to play up.
Yeah, and it could be balanced, I'm kind of stuck in a P7 trap right now where I'm not taking anything to P10, and it would be nice if I could just choose that that's my level, and I'm just going to go for P7s. And yeah, there's some cool stuff that's above that, but that's a content level that I'm just not going to play at, and as a result of that, I don't want to be hitting P10 defenses because that, those are just close to me.
Yeah, there's a whole video I'm putting together on how to rebuild the leagues.
Yeah, that needs to happen.
But that's definitely going to be part of it.
Nice. Now let me get the chat real quick. So Nitram says, I play another game that gives VIP levels, level 1 through 12, and each month allows you to level up. Once you hit level 12 rewards, you always have those every month after. Also, you're allowed to spend more money up front to hit level 12 faster. Each level gives you additional benefits for having the VIP pass. There you go, man. Leslie also shares, more players need to watch videos to get knowledge. This is very true. And that,
one of the corollaries to what Nitram was just saying is that if you play this game like a rabid maniac and you're logging in every day and playing multiple hours a day, and you're not letting a single portal stone go to waste, and you're burning gems because you're playing the game so hard, and you're spending money to do every single event, then what happens to your account? Aside from the inherent benefits that you get from doing those fights and participating in those events, nothing. You don't get anything for being a VIP in this game. And the day that you stop being active, then there is no carryover to all of that activity. There is nothing except, you got a leveled up account, but you skip for 2 months and come back, and honestly, it's kind of weird because it's like you could just turn the game off and skip a bunch of events, and it's like nothing happened, except you're going to miss a calendar. And if you did the whole calendar, every single one, 10 times in a row, then you miss one day, and you're missing out on the top reward in the calendar for that cycle. So it's really punitive.
Yeah. Frantic says activity outside of Legends and Masters is way less. This is true, and that just revisits the topic of rewards need to be looked over. They need to be completely enhanced. They
either need to radically change prestige or radically change weekly rewards or league rewards, I should say.
Oh yeah, no. Well, honestly, it needs to be both. But at least for now, a great starting point would be, league rewards, because, I mean, man, dude, it's like when you start to look at the rewards below Masters, it's just like, damn, that's rough, dude. It's almost kind of like you're just literally chilling. What's the point of me pushing for first place if I'm only gonna get like 200 gems? Like, come on, dude. It's ridiculous.
Well, even in the higher leagues, on the basically like on server 2 or 3 or 4 of even Legend League, for crap's sake, the top couple teams banging out the first day, they kind of figure out who's 1, 2, 3, and then what's the rest of the league do? Nothing.
Yeah.
Why fight? You can't get top 3. You can't get the prestige food. What's the point? It's just
the incremental rewards
it's silly. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can be in a rank 6 team, that is plugging along with pretty good activity, and you're just not getting any kind of rewards that justify that level of activity. And so a lot of players will, who are top performers, are going to eventually move to a top ranked team because they want to get those better rewards. There's no way to balance it. I'm going to reiterate the suggestion I made on ZALON stream, which is there needs to be some sort of a shard system where you can spend some form of currency in order to buy an element token of your choice, and that needs to be added to just about every single reward in the entire game so that people are constantly accruing those shards. And I think that would go a long way towards helping people solve their prestige problems.
And Prometheo, the reason you said that on ZALON stream and you're reiterating it here is because the devs are listening, and that they care about us, right?
I'm not going to engage with that chance.
Yeah. So why do you do it then? Yeah. Don't. Yeah. Exactly. You try to be all negative, but I know they listen.
It's constructive feedback, buddy.
You know that I'm talking to the community and not to the developers in 99% of the cases. And in the 1% where they do hear, then they probably don't even care.
Prometheo, they listen to everything. They just don't act on everything. That's your problem. You're just angry about it. They hear everything you're saying.
Okay. So.
Yes. Well, going to. Sorry, go ahead, Churro.
No. Go for it, bud.
Anyways, I was going back to Vintage's, I mentioned about what do the other alliances do if they're not in the top 3. I just had a crazy idea. Let's just say, this could all be going to that War Pass or wherever you want to look at it, or a special league where it's just a straight war league. But let's say almost like Highlander style. as the leagues are jockeying for position and you're beating the crap out of lower alliance teams, you absorb those teams and their members into your team. So then it eventually comes down to just those top 3 teams. You know what I'm saying? So it would behoove you to sit there and crush more players to add them into your group, you know, so they can help you crush more players. I mean, obviously,
there's a really easy way to do that, T-Gon. There's a really easy way to do that. What you do is you formalize the system that already exists where there are flags that go across multiple teams. But what you do is you just make it so that there's a new form of meta league system where every crown has the opportunity to attach their team to a banner of, you know, like call it whatever you want, you know, an alliance or, you know, some bigger system, and, you know, maybe an empire or whatever you want to come up with, and then those then get their own leaderboard.
Yeah, and that in itself could even be a different type of gameplay they could even add to the game. It doesn't necessarily mean turn the game into that, you know, but again, just opportunities, man. Bunch of more stuff they could be doing in this game.
Another way you could do it is you could give every player the opportunity to attach themselves to some sort of a, you know, a larger game-wide team system. You know, you could just align it around the existing races in the game from the original content of like Unok, Elithan, you know, the Mossmane, you know, the Goliath, the Ragnar, and just call each one of them whatever you want and let the players choose which one they want to be on. And, you know, the whole game can then test what happens. And, you know, obviously I think a lot of players are going to try to pick the winner, but you just don't let people change in the middle of the event.
Exactly. And you know what? And then to play on top of that, add your shard idea by choosing which faction you're going to stick with, you know, depending on where your faction places at the end of the week or whatever it is, end of the month, you know, you get so many shards of that particular element. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you could even have it be another flag that shows on your castle. It's like, oh, well, that guy's an Earth castle. Let's hit him so we can suck off his VP.
Damn, dude. This is cool. Good stuff, guys. This is great. Beautiful stuff. Let me get the chat real quick. So, Razorback says, calendar rewards need changed. Yeah. Going back to day 1 sucks after you collect the last few days of your monthly calendar. Yeah, man. Frantic says, and that's mostly the weekend grind to 2K souls. Now, Free to Play Zeus is sharing saying, we wouldn't know if they hear because we haven't had even a 6-second thank you video from them since the pandemic started. See, this is how, you know, Free to Play, I agree and I disagree. Only to say that I feel that they do listen because of the random changes and random introductions of different synergies. Or when they really need to, they'll add a blog post update, you know, because if they weren't listening, then like they would still continue to, well, obviously they are still continuing to follow whatever route they have planned out, but they do tweak it. It's just
like the next morning after a Tuesday test account, like, or before the event. Like, you really think they don't listen to streams? Stop it. Come on.
Yeah. The point of our feedback right now is to just really get them to just turn a little bit towards us, so that the people that are constantly playing their game not just have the constructive influence that it needs, but it also just avoids this headache of just constant resets. You know, I guess you could say even letdowns with reskills, and just, you know, just random nonsense that doesn't need to be in this game. And at the same time, you know, the thing with with gaming nowadays compared to when we probably were growing up is that if you have a game like a community base, and you could follow their you know, their at least whatever they can bring to the table, the game starts to grow and it starts to expand, and at the end of the day it just means more money for you guys, which is what we want, so that this shit stays alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you can go back to the early days of gaming. Okay, take Doom for instance. You know why Doom is still popular? Because you can have freaking LAN parties with your buddies. I mean, you know, that game is always going to be around. You know, it's the OG first-person shooter for the most part, but it's the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can play Doom with your buddies. I mean, you know, it's fun. It's just fun.
Yeah. And
and that's the thing about this game. They have everything going for them. They have an unbelievable game. They have an amazing community, and it's just make some good decisions, and everything's going to be awesome.
yeah. And
I'm gonna engage on the chance level here, which is to say that we are talking about this stuff because we care about the game. We think that the developers listen, and in fact, we have evidence from things that they've done in the game that they occasionally do listen, and that when they do listen and they make changes, that it makes the game better and more fun, and people enjoy it more, and we get quality of life improvements. And that's just the way it's supposed to be. That's the way most game communities work. And, you know, I think we would all be happy if we saw that there's at least some token level of engagement that is going to assure us that they're trying to plan out for the next, not just 6 months or a year, but like 3 or 5 years, so that we feel like this community is going to continue to exist around a game that we enjoy playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I will agree. You know what? Just to play devil's advocate here, the subtleties are what's bullshit. You guys, I feel, almost ignore the subtleties, whereas I read into it too much. So, like, when Chef stops doing the blog, and then 6 months later, in game, we see, like, hey, this is where you see the blog. Like, that tells me, like, you guys don't have the source of information broadcasting the blog every week. So, hey, just so everybody knows, the blog's still going on for those of you who were or were not subscribed to Chef, right? But I don't want to have to read into that. I don't want to have to be like, hey, you love this guy so much, you named a relic after him, and then after he stopped, you know, broadcasting your information, you happen to advertise in game. Like, I wish there was a better stream of communication instead of reading subtleties. But from my point of view, I still feel like subtleties are a form of communication. But I do get the frustration of, like, dude, why don't you just make it easy on us and broadcast 3-6 months out of what the fuck you're thinking, rather than, you know, nobody hears from you except you change some blog shit every once in a while or tweak a Titan every once in a while. I do get the frustration, as much as I try to play a devil's advocate for they're great guys and they're so smart.
Yeah, man. And again, you know, we want to just, the emphasis with this, you know, with this conversation is to just really get the ball moving, get everybody, you know, encourage constructive feedback, and really get them to just understand there is a lot of potential. You're missing out on a ton of stuff, and the breakdown is starting with synergy. It's cool, it's creative, but it's not there. Then we gotta, you know, we're gonna revisit other things. Obviously, as you know, time goes on, Vintage will put onto the video, and hope, you know, we can discuss that too. But either way, I think to wrap up this discussion, I think we've definitely established that point that potential's there. Listen to us, slow it down before you get too far ahead, and not only screw yourselves over, but then screw over the community that keeps this game alive. So, yeah, man, good stuff, guys. Great stuff. I don't know if anybody has any other last minute comments that you want to bring up. Chat, you're more than welcome to add your 2 cents. Anybody in Discord?
All good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Right on.
Sorry I didn't jump in more often, man. I got all 3 kids over here. They're going insane. The dog's barking and it's hard to have my microphone on.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. Yeah, but it's either way.
I gotta hop off, Churro. I got dessert with the fam here.
Yeah, enjoy it, man. Great video. Thanks for your time, buddy.
Yeah, we'll talk to everybody soon.
All right.
See ya.
Cheers. Later. Yeah, guys. We're gonna do about 3 more battles, and then we're gonna start wrapping up, just to conclude this after party session.
Churro, thank you for the round table. After this, feel free to get off and post some bonus cap lands for me, bro.
Yeah,
Just
dude.
saying.
Hey, you gotta catch up, man.
A little bit, a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Shigong. Yeah, that's on you too, Shigong. Just because you have 10 children, yeah, get on and post some bonus caps.
I gotta get in there too, man. It's just
Yeah.
hard to sit down.
I know, dude. So right now, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna segue out because I gotta get something in my tummy. But let's see. I'm at 29, 546. Got a couple battles left to finish off this awesome event. I'm pretty stoked to get both the gods. I just wish Conk was tomorrow so I could have gotten this one and one other 5-star level. We'll get there, whatever. But either way, again, it was a great.
This is your first bowl of the gods.
Yeah,
What's
dude,
up,
I'm stoked, man.
Oh, okay.
It'll be pretty
Okay.
good. It'll be a good one to add to the collection for sure.
Alright.
But either way, Chance, Prometheo, Vintage, Darth, Speakerface, everybody else that's in the chat, it's been a great conversation. I think it was great, awesome special timing to be able to enjoy a premiere video and have a little roundtable, after it.
We found some fucking common ground, Churro. That's what you're good for.
Yeah, we always do. That's what we do, bro.
Yeah, dude. Like we all, even though we were angry at each other every once in a while, like we fucking figured that shit out. We're good.
Yeah, but I mean, the common ground is, again, just it's all positive feedback. I mean, yeah, again, and the ranting happens, but I just think that in the way gaming works nowadays, it is another social experience, which is a very special thing, and it's just so crazy to know that we have literally people across this globe that are willing to provide feedback to this thing, and make it something where it's maybe like a home away from home kind of thing, or just a distraction from whatever the fuck's going on in life. But either way, I just want to thank everybody. Wrapping up, on your way out, if you're kind enough to hit that like, do so. If you haven't subscribed, hook it up with that subscriber. Yeah, dude, we're gonna wrap up right now. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for your time. Peace out, Cub Scout.
Thanks, Churro.
Yep.
See you, Chance.
Later. Peace.
Speaker face.
Fuck you guys.